You're watching the #1 college television station in the state of West Virginia, BCTV, Bethany College Television, the home of the Bison.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Bison Roundup. I am Carlo Guadagnino. Alongside me is A.J. Brettell. A.J., how was your weekend?
Wasn't bad, man. I mean, I went to Pittsburgh, met up with some financial banker people, trying to get me a job after school. So
for the 175th?
Yeah, I was up there for the 175th anniversary of Bethany College. It was good. There was it was really well put together. I mean, a lot of really nice people who donated a lot of money to make this happen. So it was great to see a lot of Bethany alum come out and support, a good cause. And it was good. I got to network a lot, met a lot of good alumni from all the different fraternities here, and a couple people working at a couple firms up in Pittsburgh, a couple firms in New York City even. So it was good, and I hope it pays off.
Well, and seeing as it's not your birthday anymore, and your Pitt Panthers obviously didn't come through again this week for you, did they? They did not.
No, they did not.
They did not. It's okay, neither depends. They lost by 2. Northwestern.
I feel you, buddy. I feel you.
So and then I had to watch Florida played a 9-7 victory over Vanderbilt. It might have been the worst college football game I've ever seen.
Bad week for sports.
Good week, bad week for the Bison. The football team was off. Both soccer teams, first week of them being, their season being done, field hockey being done. Volleyball was in action. They played last Tuesday, which happened after we aired we recorded our show last week. They got the win over W&J. Then after that, they traveled to Kentucky to play Geneva in Thomas More, and then where they won that game as well, didn't they?
Yeah, they won that game.
And then you're going to give us the stats. They played in the championship and didn't fare well for the Bison, but again, young team. A lot of things to build on.
Yeah, a lot of good talent for this Bethany volleyball team. But Thomas More, we've talked about it before, #1 seed. They've been pretty much unstoppable all season.
I'm just tired of every sport that we talk about. We have to talk about those people over in Kentucky. It's like they run literally it doesn't matter which sport it is. I mean, they officially won the football conference this weekend over Case Western with a 36-32 win. And it's just, I mean, I know they won women's soccer. I don't believe they won men's.
No, they won men's.
Oh, they won men's.
No, they got beaten men's, but prior to them starting playoffs in all the sports, I heard a little fun fact from somebody. Every single one of their sports team was ranked in the top 25 in the country for Division III. You want to talk about a program or what?
That's not bad to have. But let's go back to their volleyball team, kind of talk. Obviously, I believe they lost, the women lost in 3-0. Was it 3-0?
They lost 3-0. First set, it was pretty ugly. I mean, they got beat 25-14. We started off slow, our women did, and they never got to recover. So Thomas More took advantage of it and put the beating on them real hard. Second set, it went a little better. It finished 25-16, which doesn't sound like it got much better, but they were up at one point. And, Thomas More being the team they are.
Once they're up,
found a way to overcome and then just, dominated. And then finally, the third set, we actually were up 10-6. We had a 10-6 lead. And then I believe Thomas More had 19 out of the next 24 points and beat us 25-15. So, like you said, once they see a little shot of glimmer, they run with it. They run with it. But the Bison offense was led by Dakota McKenzie, who had 9 kills and 5 digs, and Mackenzie Lauber had 14 assists. I mean, although they lost, they did finish with a 29-9 record, which is their 5th straight season with at least 25 wins. So, although we haven't been able to get over the hump that is Thomas More, our volleyball team's been able to be competitive year in and year out. And, I mean, in the recent past 5 years, been very, very competitive and won a lot of games. A
lot of games. And, that record gets them a qualification for the ECAC tournament. As we're recording this right now, we're still waiting on word. So throughout this broadcast, we're probably going to try and get an answer officially on whether Bethany will host the ECAC tournament or if they will end up traveling somewhere else. From what we hear, it's probably more than likely they're going to travel. If not, I'm sure the great people at BCTV, Erik Sprowls and that group of people that run around and do all the sports, I'm sure they will get into the truck and make their way over to the field house, and you'll have coverage here on BCTV. Until we find out about that, it's the end of volleyball for us, really.
Yeah. I mean, it is sad to see him go. I mean, this has been, I can't even know. I mean, as long as I've been here, it seems like we always get that number 2 seed in the PAC, and, we can never come through and win the whole darn thing. But, I mean, at least we did get the ECAC.
Many moons I have been here. Many moons I've seen that number 2 seed.
Yeah.
And that, who's always number 1?
Thomas More.
Yeah. And so it's really upsetting.
But, like you said, I mean, let's focus on the positives. Young team, though.
Very young team.
I mean, a lot of freshmen came in and stepped up.
And this is what this is what Coach Courtney Klein does. I mean, she rebuilt the program, and I mean, every year they just reload. The year that they lost would have been, I believe, your freshman year. They lost the Hoffman twins and Taylor Cassidy and the whole group of the original people that she had brought in. And Coach Klein refused to call it a rebuilding year. It was just a reload. Obviously she gets the McKenzie twins, which that's kind of help.
I mean, yeah, I mean, you have 2 girls. I mean, how tall do you think they are? Like 6'5"?
They're taller than me.
It doesn't take much to be taller than you.
If they were on this show, I would need a booster seat. I know that for sure.
Yeah.
If I'm sitting here talking, I'm like, hey, how you doing up there?
Yeah, but, like you said, it's not so much rebuilding anymore.
No.
It's all reloading. Now I feel like for the past few years, they've had a core at start very talented as freshmen. They only get better as they go. And as soon as you lose them, you have another core group of talented freshmen that's coming right back in, right behind them. And so now you're not really carrying any dead weight. You have a very, very deep bench. So no matter who comes in, who gets injured, you're just substituting one good player with another good player.
Final thoughts on volleyball, and good luck to them in the ECACs, obviously.
Honestly, my only last thoughts are, I mean, out of what I've seen, like you said, they go to the ECAC like almost every year because they haven't been able to win that conference tournament. But I think they have a chance to win the whole thing. I mean, I think this is a team that they're going to come back with a little fire in their eyes because of this tough-fought loss, and they're going to come in and win the whole ECAC.
Well, that'll do it for this segment. We will be back to talk, obviously, Bison football, last game of the season. They will travel up to Latrobe to St. Vincent. So when AJ and I are back, no guests today, so AJ and I will be here for the long haul. But we'll be back in about, what do you figure, 5 minutes, somewhere around there? 5-10 minutes, somewhere around there. On Bethany, or West Virginia's #1 college TV station, BCTV.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. But it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, she's putting them in the same basket. Again. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. This is a serious problem, but one we can solve. Visit feedingamerica.org to help. Together we can solve hunger. Together we're feeding America.
Hey, Hard, what's this?
That's my resignation.
You're resigning.
Why?
You've been putting me under a lot of pressure lately. That's why I'm ready to quit.
Oh, I forgot. I'll do better. Please don't quit on me.
Don't let your heart quit on you. Get your uncontrolled high blood pressure to a healthy range before it's too late.
Hey, this job looks perfect. It says you need people skills.
Check.
Driver's license.
Check.
And a high school diploma. You've got one of those, right?
Skip the drama. Get your diploma.
I got that.
You are good to go.
Take that first step towards a better future. Find free adult education classes at finishyourdiploma.org.
Kids will spend 15 minutes watching online videos like this one.
Brushing for 2 minutes now can save your child from severe tooth pain later. 2 minutes twice a day. They have the time.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Bison Roundup. Just finished talking about volleyball. We're going to jump right in, I guess, to some Bison football. Go ahead, AJ, I know you're waiting. This is your segment. All about the offense, those white shirts.
Yes, the offense. And most importantly, my boy.
The Nugget,
Jalen Holmes.
Okay.
I mean,
I know it's coming.
I'm going to say it now. I think deep down inside he might just have another 100-yard rushing game.
Just maybe?
It's kind of just a gut feeling. I mean, after he's just been tearing
What's that
up.
gut feeling? A 9 in a row? You figured the 10th one was the one that he was going to...
Hey, in my defense, have I not been saying this?
This is true. The only game you didn't predict it was against Mount Union. So,
True.
And every game since Mount Union, I'm pretty sure he's had 100 yards. So there you go.
So, I mean...
Call you the Oracle.
Yeah, but let's get down to it, though. Besides Jalen Holmes, I think that Lincoln Reyes will have another... he's been playing better lately. So
Yeah.
I do think he'll be having another good game. I mean, if I had to make a little prediction, I might say 1 interception because it kind of has been coming with the territory.
St. Vincent has a good defense. I mean, that's something they started last year. Actually, the year before that, they play Bethany very well every year. It's the green game. I mean, Bethany as of late kind of holds the rivalry number. I think St. Vincent's only beat us twice, and both once there and once here. Last year was here, and then before that was Grimard's junior year, my junior year, that we lost there on a last-second touchdown. So St. Vincent's defense is always comes prepared, and their offense always comes prepared. We'll talk about their offense in the second or at the end of the show.
Yeah.
But Jalen, Jalen has the difference between Jalen this year and Jalen last year. Last year, Jalen struggled at times to hit the right gap. This year, Jalen, there's multiple gaps for Jalen to hit. The offense is more cohesive. The offensive line is more cohesive, I want to say. And they have a confident quarterback, which you had at times last year, you didn't have at times last year. You also have a guy that, Lincoln Reyes gets to throw the ball to all the time. So many times that I think he's broken his own record 3 times in 3 years. So, and that's obviously number 4, Eric Blinn.
Yeah.
Got to expect a big game from Blinn.
Last
one.
I mean, I definitely think, last game of the season, I think he wants to go out with a bang.
Of course.
And so, like we talked about last week, he broke his own record again.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't be surprised if this was like the game he just kind of sat himself down and said, you know what, this is the one game, it's time to leave it all out on the table. Who knows what will happen after this? So this is your last chance, this is your last rodeo, so it's time to go out and just solidify your spot in Bethany history even further. I mean, extend the records you have, maybe try to break records that can possibly still be broken. I mean, I don't know if there's anything the kid hasn't done, but I think this is kind of like the last bow, the final curtain call.
I don't think to this point he's kicked a field goal yet in his career, and I don't think he's punted. So there's 3. I'm trying to find the 2 things you said. I don't think. I had to go back and
last game of the season, maybe we
see him punt.
Maybe we can sneak a few words into the head coach and try to get him to touch everything he can.
You gonna go see Garvey?
No.
I didn't think so.
I'm
not going to see Coach Garvey.
You might have
I am not about to
go Garvey than me.
No. I'm not about to go see Coach Garvey and say, hey, I
Dion,
think.
Can we get some help? You want to talk to Coach Garvey? All right, we're in.
All right. You see us green shirts. Yeah. One of us is always willing to give out a hand. The white shirts sometimes a little stingy.
Okay. Well,
but
I'm offensively minded, man. I like run and gun.
I like to hit people.
Fair enough. That's why we're 2 peas in a pod, man.
You also got to worry about Robbie Seaman.
Yes.
You have to worry about Terry Linyard. You have to worry about
Ambush.
Tyler Ambush. You have to worry about Joe Fiasco. You have to worry about Hannah. And, you know, this guy, Aaron Fry, who we'll talk about in the second segment, or the last segment, this guy could mess around and end up being an All-American punter. He might be an All-Conference punter by the end of the year. I mean, he was averaging, at last glance,
41.7 last game.
And they didn't play, so that average hasn't changed. I'm pretty sure Amick's average last year was right around 45.
Yeah.
So, and that's a guy that's a punter.
Yes,
when he
a
came,
true punter, yes.
came to Bethany to be a punter. Fry's an all-purpose everything.
Player.
But
yeah, you said a name that really kind of struck me. I think a key player to this game will be Robbie Seaman. I mean, we've talked about him a few times on game day and on this show about how he has the hands that just don't drop the ball. So I think that in big-time situations, on those 3rd and 8, 3rd and 7s, look for Reyes to try to go to Seaman, because I think that if you need a sure receiver that is going to hold on to the ball, if Reyes can put it within a certain area of him, I think Seaman will come down with the ball.
Oh, I agree. I think 100% you throw the ball anywhere near Robbie Seaman, the competitor in him, he's going to try to come down with it.
Yes.
The last catch, the catch that I want to talk about from Seaman that kind of displays this is he ran it was a deep in, and Lincoln tried to throw, basically it was like a back shoulder, which you don't normally see if somebody's coming across, you're more or less leading them. And Seaman just kind of stopped, jumped as far as he could, and ended up coming down with it and he got hit pretty hard. And that's the thing that I think people don't give him enough credit for, is the fact Seaman will catch a ball across the middle and get leveled.
Oh, yeah.
Get up, toss the ball to the ref, and tell people to let's go for the next play.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you look, he's not a very tall target.
No.
I mean, he's pretty
stocky kid.
Yeah, he's strong. But, you know, he's not the tallest of targets. But somehow he still finds a way to beat defender with it's that first step off the line. It's that first little stutter step in and out, and he can just take care of the corner and beat him off that initial burst. And then when it comes down to that, as long as he can get a few steps, his top end speed, he's going to keep that lead. So if Reyes can just put it in front of him, he's open.
All right, as we're wrapping this segment up, AJ, any prediction on the amount of points that we're going to see the Bison put up today? Well, not today, but Saturday.
I think it's going to be a tough battle. I think it's going to be a close game, but I say they put up 24 points.
All right, so we got 24 for you. 24 down there. We're going to do the same thing for the defense.
All right, well, what do you have to say for offense?
You know, I don't see this offense stopping, so I'm going to go mid-40s. I'm going to say 42.
Okay. Fair enough.
And with that, we'll be back for the final segment of the show right after this.
When I was 6, my mom had a stroke.
I'm Paul George. Learn the signs of a stroke fast.
F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911. Spot a stroke fast.
My new mom and I have a lot in common.
The great outside.
We both love the outdoors.
So shiny.
That's not a flower. We both love geology.
Oh, look. An igneous one.
That's not a rock. And she knows a lot about wildlife.
A labradoodle.
That's not a dog. Hanging out has been kind of fun.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
The odds of winning 7 Grammy Awards? 1 in 1.4 million. The odds of having a child diagnosed with autism? 1 in 68. I'm Toni Braxton. Learn more at autismspeaks.org.
To Maddie, congrats on paying off all those student loans.
Finally, right?
How'd you manage that anyway?
I started tracking my spending, changed a couple of habits.
Wow, I'm kind of living paycheck to paycheck right now. I don't even know how I'm doing it.
Well, have you tried saving a little?
I want to, but where's that money gonna come from? Bill collectors, they're the worst. Am I right?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind.
Not home.
Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
This new dad is picturing a tree house in the sky, but he's ignoring the instructions. Good luck, big guy. His kids know that he's building without a clue. Never been so good with nails and glue. Now we're trapped inside a box. I hope mom knows what to do. Mom! See, you don't have to be perfect to be the perfect parent.
Thousands of siblings in foster care will take you just as you are.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's that time of the show.
Yeah, your boys, the green shirts.
I get really excited.
Let's get right down to the defense. I got excited, now it's your turn to get excited.
Well, we're going to talk about Glizzy, Donovan Hayden. No club, Dion. No more club. So Glizzy got 2 hands. Oh, St. Vincent's in for some problems. Glizzy got 2 free hands. All right, so you got Glizzy, who's 100% healthy now. You got that other guy. We had him on the show, Larry Potier.
Yes.
You're going to have a mixture of Dylan Stewart and Matt May, I'm assuming, because last game of the year, you're going to get, especially with Matt May being the next middle linebacker, you're expecting that's who's going to be replacing Stu. And then you go down to that D-line with, you're going to lose Nadeem and you're going to lose Campbell. Devon comes back next year. Daniel Gibson. If you can get those 2 to come back, that's still a solid D-line coming back next year.
Yeah. And you also have to remember.
And then we go to the
puzzle piece next year.
Well, we go to that area that doesn't get a lot of credit, the no-fly zone. Dion, Aaron Fry, and an assortment of cornerbacks this year. To note, you have Freeman.
Yes,
the
freshman.
young freshman, 2 interceptions, 2 big interceptions.
Sunshine.
You had Darby, who has made a great impact. You've had. I'm trying to think. I can't even think of some of them because a lot of these guys weren't around when I was here. So some people like Dion and Raph back in the day, the hair was still just as long though.
Yeah,
it was. Basically, what I feel like this defense is going to bring. Obviously, they come out of that Grove City game confident. Then you go, hey Eric, can you turn your phone off, please?
I'm waiting on your playoff announcement.
Yeah? Well, please put your phone on silent. We're trying to do a show here.
Thanks, Eric.
All right.
But, they come off the bye week. Obviously, nice week of relaxation. You had maybe 3 practices?
Yeah.
They have practice today.
Rest up, get everybody healthy.
Practice today. Everything's going to be uppers, thud tempo. Obviously, you're not trying to get anybody hurt in the last week. There's a very slim possibility for a bowl game. I mean, they have to. Obviously, Bethany has to go down to Latrobe, get a W. After that, it's kind of out of their hands. It's in the hands of the other teams in the conference, and we will keep you updated on that as we find out more. Obviously, I'd like to see that. I'd like to see the Bison get another bowl game and try to build on what they had last year.
I think the biggest thing first is, I understand you have to have a lot of things happen. Number 1. Going to Latrobe, get the W. That's the only thing you can control. So you got to go in and dominate and just prove to everybody why you deserve a bowl game.
And I think you're going to see Hayden, Potier, Radar, Campbell, Dion, these guys that this is their last game in the green and white. You're going to see a lot of passion as you've seen from these guys in 4 years. It's all going to come out at Latrobe, and I'll be there because I'm at every game. But. You want to come with me?
It's Saturday?
Yeah.
I'll be there. I got nothing to do Saturday.
There we go. So we'll go. It's me, you, and the wives. We go with the wives.
Who's the wives?
Lainey and Cassie. Eric doesn't pay for us to, he doesn't pay our travel expenses.
My girlfriend's going to be in town. Do you care if she comes with me?
No.
All right, we're good.
They don't pay for our travel expenses. So
I'll throw you some gas money.
Well, that would be nice. Other than that, I think that the ball hawks will be out. I think St. Vincent likes to throw the ball. Which kind of plays into Freeman, Dion, Fry, these guys. Hopefully we get Larry a pair of gloves for today for the Saturday's game. Give him a little stickum. I know stickim's illegal, but they got that artificial stuff they put on the gloves. But Nadeem tends to have, as the season wears on, he plays that aggressive style play. So that being said, let's move on and recap all of the show today. So that we can just.
I think we just got note of.
What do you give me this thumbs up? I don't know what that means.
It's now official. Our sports information just got back to me and said we are playing DeSalle's at 7 on Wednesday.
At home.
At home.
We are hosting DeSalle.
LaSalle.
All right.
DeSalle. DeSalle's at 7 on Wednesday night.
So the Bison will.
We are a 4 seed.
So
Okay.
the Bison are the 4 seed. They won't host the entire tournament unless obviously the first 3 seeds drop in front of them.
Possible reseeding after that.
They will host
DeSalle
on Wednesday
at 7 o'clock in Hummel Fieldhouse.
In Hummel Fieldhouse, which I'm sure you're going to be able to catch here on BCTV.
Yes.
You're going to go through the last win that the Bison had.
Yeah, the game against...
The last game that was at home against W&J.
Yeah.
And then we'll go ahead.
Oh, cool. Yeah, well, of course, first things first, the attack was led by the Twin Towers, the twins. Delana and Dakota McKenzie, they had 10 kills apiece. Of course, Mackenzie Lauber led with 19 assists. It seems like she's been doing that all season. And then digs were led by Julia Mount, senior, with 14 digs. So it seemed like the players you expected to stepped up in that game.
Well, and that's again, those are the players we expect to be talking about now next week's show.
Yes. Now that we know.
Before we wrap everything up, I know we're getting kind of close on time here. I forgot to pick up the scores. I think that the Bison defense, to jump back, the Bison defense has only given up 14. They're giving up the first touchdown that St. Vincent's on the field, and they're giving up a touchdown in the second half somewhere down the line. That's it.
So you expect a real big victory.
That's it.
I'm sorry, guys. I gotta go a little different. I gotta keep it close because this is the last game of the season, and I understand we're gonna be fired up, but I think St. Vincent's gonna be fired up.
It's our senior day.
And like you said, they're gonna go through the air all day. And Dion, I hope I'm wrong when I say this, but I do think they're gonna score 21 points.
So AJ's prediction is 24-21. The Bison will get the victory. My score, a little bit bigger, 42.
Just tiny bit.
42-14. Again, Bison get the victory. We will be back next week. This will be it for the football fall sports kind of wrap up. Next week, we will go right into talking about the winter sports, obviously swimming, which is already underway. We'll talk about that. Christine Bray's been having great. We'll wrap up volleyball. We'll start previewing. We'll wrap up football, and we'll start previewing basketball. Thank you to everybody. Raph, Dion, Lamont, Erik Sprowls, Taylor Furco, the comm department, Jason Smith, and Emmy Gamble. We appreciate everything you guys do, and well, enjoy the rest of your week. So that was easy.
Give everyone a thank you, Bobby.
I don't thank you.